Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Cast Revive. Yeah, your top 5 VGM podcast. I'm already starting off on a bad note. I'm your host, Matt Harmrell, and here with the man that foolishly chooses holy water over triple boomerang, Steve Moncelsi.
Hello, everyone.
And this week, we're doing something cool because we're going to do as Brian came up with, Cast-levania, because Cast Revive, I like that.
Nice.
Bro off. Is that what we're doing? Like we're doing like a versus Steve's favorite versus my favorite. We're gonna do a little battle and see who comes out victorious. With us, we got Brian, who's giggling crazily behind the mic, and I can't wait to hear exactly.
I think it was bro off that set him off.
It was Codcast.
It was Codcast. Oh, Codcast.
Fishing podcast.
Call of Duty podcast.
Wow, that would be a boring podcast. It would be like a fishing podcast. And we're throwing the line in, and we're waiting and waiting.
You have like one of those Fisher Price toys that has a little digital screen on it. You're just like, you have no line. You're just like sitting there, not stroking, but like twisting. Just like, how did we get onto this?
I don't
from
know.
Castlevania?
It's gold.
So, Brian, you picked our intro track. So what do we got? This is like the funkiest, craziest thing I've heard like in my life. What do we got here?
You never heard this before?
No.
Oh, okay. This is it's called Wandering Ghosts. It's from Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Oh.
My personal favorite. I've only played 2.
Not a huge fan of it, but I mean of the game.
I know.
But you know, I'm in the .01, or maybe there's not even. Maybe I'm the only one that doesn't really enjoy Symphony of the Night.
It's not the game. It's the soundtrack.
Yeah.
No, it's the game.
Yeah.
That game is amazing.
For us.
So yeah, we're gonna switch things up a little bit. Like I said before, same format. Steve and I will go back and forth, but it's gonna be a little bit more competitive than our normal. Just like good pick, because I'm probably gonna be like, your pick stinks, mine's better, and he's gonna be like, no, mine's better, and then we'll probably hug afterwards. I don't know.
Probably
there might be some pie throwing or something at some point, but you know, it's gonna get crazy in here, and this music feels like, I don't know, like we're entering a porno.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Okay, I didn't go that way.
Yeah, we're done with that song now.
And forever, we will never listen to that song again. You know, I've noticed though, the last time we did a project together, the first competition we had came down to Castlevania.
Yes, it did.
So, what is it about Castlevania that brings out the competitiveness?
I don't know. That is interesting because like when we did a video before to see who could take down Medusa the fastest.
In the
Holy Water,
original
in the original Castlevania, Medusa. Holy Water or triple boomerang, and I won by like a fraction of a second.
Yeah.
It was super close, but you know, it just the better player, the more skilled person won that round. And I wonder if I'm going to retain that title. And
you know, those headphones aren't going to fit. Your head gets any bigger.
Hey man, this is it for me. If I don't have that title, that's it. I've lost everything. So okay. We wanted to do the Castlevania series, but obviously with so many games, it's impossible to take that down to like an hour segment. So
27 plus games, something like that in the series.
And I don't want to take Castlevania out so early. So we're going to be revisiting Castlevania a lot because it has some amazing music, and a lot of the music is redone in the following games in the series. So do you have a... Well, I guess I don't want to ask you if you have a personal favorite because that's kind of what...
That's what this is.
That's kind of what we're going to do. What would you say is your least favorite that you've played?
Least favorite Castlevania. Man. I really have to think about why is it so difficult for me for this is because that is my favorite series.
Right.
So that's like saying, you know, which is the worst Final Fantasy? I mean, everybody could say
7.
one.
Wow! Get Mike off! Get him out of here!
JK.
Have that man shot. But I mean, because it is my favorite. It is, you know, even, you know, quote unquote the worst game, I could find the best things about it and why I love it.
Right.
You know, maybe Haunted House, which is technically the first Castlevania that was over in Japan. It's exactly like the original Castlevania that was here in the NES, but it was an arcade version. So maybe that one.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's hard. What about you, Matt?
I was watching one the other day, and I think it was a handheld. I think it was not Dawn of Sorrow. I think it was another one. But
It's Aria of Sorrow.
basically, the dude was running and shooting a rocket launcher the entire game. I was like, "Are you serious? Like, you're not even using a whip. You're using a rocket launcher. Like, this is where the game has gotten to." It's like I was watching a speedrun of it, and I was just like, "All right, this dude's literally using a rocket launcher on everything." And I was like, "What? How does this fit into the Castlevania?" Anybody know what?
No, I don't know what you're talking
I know it's a
about.
handheld.
That's where they put Abraham Ford as the main character, right? They took him for Walking Dead and they brought him over to Castlevania because they're so similar.
That'd be awesome. I would so play him as the main character in a Castlevania game.
You seem to be pretty against it.
He's got to have a cigar. That's what.
Oh, okay.
If he had a cigar in his mouth, it'd be okay. No cigar, no rocket launcher. It's the way it is.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. So anyway,
Walking Dead.
And the one cool thing about Castlevania is, for the majority of them, you play different people, and they're all of the same lineage,
Right.
In some way, shape, or form. But they all have the same kind of theme, and they all have like the same kind of weapons, and it's like the same smell, but it's a different flavor every time you play the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, how many different ways can they twist this? Oh wow, they found a new way to twist it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And when I start going through my picks here and the game I chose, I'll get more in depth with that.
Yeah. Well, do you want to get started with that?
We can get started.
I'm kind of excited to see what you chose.
We can get started.
And I think I actually go first this week. So,
since you're going to lose,
they usually say first
we'll
is the
go
worst,
ahead.
but in this situation, the champ goes first.
A tear just came to my eye.
Super Castlevania 4, baby.
Mm-hmm.
This is hard because, I haven't played majority Castlevania games. To me, it came down to the original and this game. So it's like original, super nostalgia. Like coming in, I'm just like, oh my god, all these tracks are amazing. Super Castlevania 4, the Mega Man X of the Castlevania series. So I was just like, this game is perfect.
Castlevania the original, and it's 4 tracks, 5 tracks. And this one.
But they're all amazing. And the fact that one of them actually made it over into Super Castlevania 4. So maybe or maybe not you'll hear that. I don't know. But this is the Submerged City stage 3-3. And this music is it's creepy. This game is very dark. And the cool thing is the composers, they said they wanted to have the music feel like you were interacting with the environment, and you said
and it absolutely
earlier,
does.
and you can hear, and even like in the stage when you said you can feel like what's going on in the stage at that time. You can visualize exactly.
I can hear all the sound effects. It's like when you're playing like the water rising, and you know that the boss is coming out.
Then you have this dude kicking a killer solo on that flute right now.
Jazz flute solo.
So the boss, we got Orphic Viper on the third stage, and I wasn't a huge fan of that boss fight. It was very difficult. It was very similar, like you had mentioned previously about using the triple axe on this thing to take it out quickly, and you essentially have to. Other than that, it can get pretty crazy pretty quick, but triple axe solves all problems from what I've told.
Well, here's a question for you.
Here's an answer for
All
you.
right, so when you beat that boss, they turn into the bones. It comes on, and then they fall off the stage, right? So I wonder, do you think that's what the bone dragons, the ones that come out of the walls and like they go up and down and they shoot the fireballs at you? Is this just like what they are or were when they were alive? Were these things?
That's a good question. Fortunately, I can't answer that, but I wouldn't. I can answer that. I'm going to say yes.
Yes.
I'm going to say that's exactly.
Is that a hard yes?
That's a hard yes. That's capital H exclamation point. Yes. Hard.
In theory.
Yeah.
In theory.
But I mentioned that the thing. there's so much fanfare that goes on with Castlevania, especially
absolutely.
with how long this series is. If you know, I mean, write in your thoughts on it. That's actually a very interesting question because it'd be cool to see because Super Castlevania 4 is like a retelling of the original Castlevania, so it's interesting to see what exactly what people think of these different creatures. I mean, could they show up? Could that boss be one of those things you were talking about? I mean, it's a possibility. I wouldn't put it past them to say that this is this little Easter egg, in here that we're going to reuse this, and you didn't know that was like a miniature version of the boss you just fought or something.
Now, see, Super Castlevania, and we've talked about this in the past, is Castlevania is one of my favorite all-time games. That whole series,
right?
And Super Castlevania is in my top 3, if not my top game. For Castlevania, and probably in my top 10 of favorite games of all time.
Right.
Just to see the leaps that they've made from Castlevania 3 to Super Castlevania. I mean, from the very first stage, when you're walking on a path, and then you can go through the iron gates, and now you're in the background. There was a definitive background and foreground, and things could happen. And
right.
I thought that was amazing. And it was something as simple. You look at that now, you're like, what was so amazing about that? That didn't exist until then.
Yeah.
And to see this is actually a world that you're in.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And not to mention all the additional controls they had. I mean, you had the omnidirectional swing. You could twirl your whip to block projectiles. I mean, you go from your standard, Castlevania 1, 2, and 3, you have your standard attack, but you're like, whoa, I can hit above and below me. I can jump and do all these aerial attacks.
Attack down.
Yeah, I can whip those Medusas midair with the twirl and stun them. There are so many really, really cool things you could do with this game, and that's why I had to pick it. Ultimately, I can't get enough of Super Castlevania 4.
I would agree with you on that. My favorite part was adding the fact that you could actually latch onto stuff with your whip.
Yes.
And swing across chasms. And
yep.
There's a couple places you have to time it so you can keep swinging and swing from one rung to the next.
Yep.
Love it.
A lot of definitely. I'll be getting into more of that possibly in my later tracks.
Dun, dun, dun.
But let's see what you picked. I'm interested to see what your number 5 is and see if it can even come close.
It was hard.
SC4.
Again, there's so many Castlevanias out there, but this is what I went with.
Love it. Final Fantasy X Blitzball, right? Did I get it? Did I get it? I'll tell you, I'm already digging it. I'm already digging your number 5.
This is a game that you said you hated and did not care for, but this is Symphony of the Night.
Interesting.
This is the prologue. This is when you start the game. You actually play as Alucard, one of the very few Castlevania games you don't play as a Belmont, and you play as Alucard, who's in Castlevania 3.
Right.
He's the son of Dracula. And you start fully geared up, like end game status. You start, and as you go through the game, right in the very beginning, you're just crushing things. You're one-hitting everything. These big bosses, one hit.
Nice.
And you get up to Death, and he curses you and strips you down to nothing. So that's what starts your quest onto Symphony of the Night through the castle. They start reclaiming all your items.
Interesting.
And it's a true RPG. Things give experience points when you kill them, and you can find weapons and upgrade your gear. But it is, oh my god, it's so blissful. Going through, this isn't going to be a very hard game. And then I have nothing, and now it takes 65 hits to kill this one little thing. Oh.
I think that's ultimately why I didn't enjoy. Because I played very little of Symphony of the Night, but I was like, okay, I have to memorize and input commands to do different attacks. That doesn't feel like Castlevania to me. That was just my take on it. I know, it's rated as one of the best, if not the best, Castlevania game. It's just all those. What? Is your favorite, isn't it?
Well, no, it is my favorite. But what I was gonna say is you don't have to do that. You don't have to do spells or anything.
But I thought you had to turn into a bat to get to different areas and fly and
sure. You have to hit the left bumper.
Yeah,
turn into a bat.
Too much. It's too much.
Well, this game was Symphony of the Night was considered the Metroid game. It is very much about exploration.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, it's about story, but this one, story takes a backseat. It's all about exploring the castle, and if they actually reward you for doing it. If you get 100% castle exploration, you actually get 102%. You unlock the inverted castle, and it's a whole nother game. And you go through everything's backwards, upside down, or yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Different music in all the zones, different bosses.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool. So what happens when you beat it? Is that like a true ending? Like if you do it, is it like are there different endings based on what
I'm not gonna tell you.
I'm just gonna look up a speed run of it. Done. 100% speed run.
What I would say to get you to play this game, Matt, is the music that we're hearing right now, you actually hear when you're controlling Richter Belmont in the very beginning of the game.
Right.
You go and you kill Dracula, whatever, and Maria shows up, and
Is this the one with the really bad voice acting?
Well, that's because the prologue of this actually takes place in the final ending of the previous game, which is Rondo of Blood.
Rondo of Blood, exactly. But if you name your game file Richter, you can play through Symphony of the Night as Richter Belmont.
Oh, nice. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
And then you get the whip, and you get the slide, and you get the.
Is there any other one? Is it just the two you can play as? Are there any other code?
You can play as one of the armor knights.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, see,
the
even
guys
I didn't know
throw the
that.
Axes. Yeah. Well,
Wow.
I forget what the name is for that, but you can play as
They
that.
don't
But
jump. You don't go very far.
That's horrible. Good luck.
There's like a super secret name for beating the game with that.
I worked hard to get this. This is garbage.
Well, good number 5.
Thank you.
I think this is going to be a very competitive list. I mean, if all the music is as rock and rolly as that, I think I'm in for a challenge.
It's a lot deeper sometimes.
But-
than rocky and rolly. It's
I feel
very
it.
zen.
I feel it.
Castlevania music is actually very zenful. It's depending on what game you're listening to. It's very. This is just calming and peaceful. And somebody just died. So kind of music.
If you know what's not calming and peaceful,
What's that?
my number 4. Yes. This is you might remember this particular music taken
Belmont's theme?
the Vampire Killer taken from the original Castlevania. This is from stage. This is B1, like the very end, the very final areas of the game that you go through, and I could not pick this track. As soon as I heard it, I was just like, yep. Like playing through it, you're just like, oh, they just took that from the original game. Are you serious? This game just like completely jumped to like because the final area of the game, like you're leading up to fight Dracula, and they're taking Vampire Killer like from the original game. I lost it. I lost my mind. It was brilliant.
They've actually did this song in several games because it is such an iconic song for Castlevania. I mean, it defines Castlevania.
Right.
It really
right.
does.
Yeah.
Do you know what Vampire Killer is? Like what it is?
Oh, wait. We're gonna let Brian answer because Brian raised his hand.
You don't know?
No, wait, do you know?
Of course I know. But
Well,
we're
then you
gonna,
should-
no,
No, what is it?
we're
Just
gonna
you.
let Brian answer because Brian raised his hand first.
excited. I'm sorry.
No, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
It's his whip, right?
Yes.
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 Yes,
That's
it is.
like, yes, sure
That's
it
like,
is.
yeah. Yes, it is. Thank
Sure
you,
it
Brian.
is.
I
Look,
knew that.
Look over at Steve.
I
Is that right? Yes,
Wait,
it
wait.
is.
Wait, give me the ocular pat down of okay here.
Yes, it is the name of Simon's whip, and actually, it's in Castlevania lore, the whip is actually handed down from generation to generation, and it actually started in Lament of Innocence for the PS2 as the alchemy whip.
Ooh.
And you can get different abilities for it. Like you can get it turned to be a flame whip, which made a comeback in Castlevania 2.
Yes, that's right. Yep.
Then there's an ice whip and one other one. I forget what it is off the top of my head. Poly lightning.
Thunder whip.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, a crack of the whip, crack of lightning.
Tell you,
This
man,
all works.
It gets all kind of crazy.
But not gonna spoil what happens. But somebody does give up their life so that it absorbs their soul.
Dracula.
Nope, not at all.
Thought it was close.
Somebody unexpected, but they give up their life, and it becomes the Vampire Killer.
Nice.
And it's the only weapon that can defeat Dracula, and it gets handed down through the Belmont clan. And there you go. But Simon has it. in all of his games.
Just
actually.
drop some knowledge right there. Just put the book down. Boom.
So like, if it's so like to them, how do they get power-ups for it? Like, how do they see like crack a candle and now all of a sudden he's got like a better whip? Wait, this was like this mystic whip. There's only one ever, and you have it laying around your house.
Maybe he gets so
What?
much joy to breaking candles that like that's how it grows bigger. It's like you must destroy candles, and it strengthens the whip. Like the wax pours on it and like fills it up with like the blood of his enemies.
Or he's just trying to get stuff off of it. It's like, ew, ew, get it out.
You shake it hard enough and it grows. That's what.
What? Anyway, so we're gonna go on to
Your number 4.
my number 4. Please, quickly.
Please.
I could sum up this song in one word: hopelessness.
Yeah.
You just listen to it and you're just like, oh man. You can just picture somebody like in a dungeon, just forgotten about, and like, yeah. And all you hear, all your friends, the rats and whatever else crawls
You like
in.
little screams in the background. It's like, what the hell is
Yeah,
going
you're just
on?
like. But this is called the abandoned pit.
Nice.
So it is like a what do they call them in movie Labyrinth? They throw you down there and forget. Oh, come on!
I'm not. My wife would know, but I'm not a huge fan of Labyrinth. So.
It's a French word.
Oubliette?
Yes, an oubliette. It is an. Good job. Thanks.
See that?
That's why he's the writer.
Yes. So like, is this like toward the beginning of the game, or is this like
It's near like midway, near the end of the game.
All I know is it's like it's underground. It's like when you start going underground under the castle. I would say it's before you get to the inverted castle, right?
Oh yes, yes.
So, like maybe the 70% complete marker.
Yeah, you have to go by percentages because there's so much backtracking.
Oh, okay,
and
I
things
gotcha.
change,
A lot of backtracking.
and they really like. You might like go to an area, and this is an example. Don't quote me on this, but like the way that the game's set up is like you might go to an area and it's an underground area. You go past it and it has some music.
Mm-hmm.
You go past it, you go do these things. Well, then you come back, it's flooded, so now it has different music.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So-
Nice.
It really is it's a percentage.
Yeah.
It depends what you've done.
I do kind of want to like check it out, but I just like you said. Now I feel better that you say like you don't have to use all these abilities, but I feel like if I'm not gonna have like I'm just gonna have a really really tough time getting through. Because
Well-
there's like a wolf you could transform into, there's like these
Well,
speeders
all
that
those
fly by you and
things-
heal you and all this.
All
like,
those things, especially like the mist form and the bat form, are just for exploration. So like there might be like a loft up in a turret, and it might have a little ledge up there that if you weren't the bat and went and explored it, you wouldn't have known that ledge is up there, which has a piece of life or
a
equipment.
gear or
Yeah,
something.
right.
Yeah.
So that's all it is.
Okay. Maybe I'll put it on the backlog. Maybe I'll see if it changes.
It's
my
a great
opinion.
game. And actually, what's funny is that this game started out with really not poor reviews, but it didn't do nearly as good as they thought. And then people who bought it were like, "This is so good," and by word of mouth, it became like a #1 hit on the PlayStation.
Wow.
And it came out for the PS1 and it came out for the Saturn.
Yeah.
And this is like one of the top 5 games of all time for the PlayStation.
Wow.
It's amazing.
It was on 360 too, I think. I think it was ported to the Saturn.
They-
I think it was on 360 as well.
They might have released it as a compilation thing, or they just like one of the you buy it in the store kind of things.
Could be.
Let's see. It says PlayStation, Sega Saturn, and Tiger handheld.
Oh, okay.
Tiger handheld.
Tiger handheld.
They came out in 1997. This game came out.
That long ago?
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's-
We're getting
when I
old,
played it.
man.
It's a classic. It's a classic for sure.
Symphony of the Night.
This game, and it's actually worth a lot of money too if you find it without the greatest hits.
Oh, really?
Case.
Nice. It's a good track though. It's simple, but it is very creepy. It is very
It could
creepy.
be like a torture room, like, and this one guy's waiting in there, waiting for his turn.
Yeah.
And that's all he hears is. The mice.
Oh, nice. Good timing. That dude.
Yeah.
A lot of screaming going on.
All right, so that's my number 4.
Good job. Good job. My number 3 is going to put the work.
Can I
What?
just be?
Yes, you can.
You guys are at war right now. and you're being awful friendly to
That's
each
true.
other.
Your picks suck, dude.
Yeah, yours suck.
I mean, I was just trying to like be nice, but I mean, Vampire Killer wins that round. Owned.
I gotta walk home, so I have to be nice.
That's true. I forgot we were at competition. This is gonna get more cutthroat.
All right, fine. Gloves come off. Gauntlets come off.
Sure, too.
Oh, you can let that play longer. So much for getting cutthroat, right? Oh, no, just let that play.
No, just
That's
let it keep
awesome.
going. This is stage 4-2, Clockwork Mansion. And this stage is nuts because it actually starts to rotate when you're going through the board. And it is like, you're just like, am I literally tripping right now? Like
Is that the one where you're like, well, it looks like you're walking like a funhouse, how it's rolling
Yep,
this
and
way?
it's rolling this way, yeah.
Gotcha.
The spikes everywhere.
Yeah.
And then you have to chain up on one of those on one of those little
points.
grips or
Little
whatever,
grabby
and then
thingies.
the room actually like and there's spikes you have to like hold on
And
and
it
do
makes
this.
that
yeah
noise.
But it was just crazy because like it really starts to push like the power of Super Nintendo at that time. So you're playing all these stationary boards. Oh, that's cool. There's stuff going on in the back, and it's like holy, like literally the room is like turning and it's going smooth too. There's like no lag, so it's just
Right.
it's just for that time, like you said before, people are gonna play like, what's the big deal? Like, at that time, that was huge.
Right.
It was huge, and it blew my mind playing it for the first time. I was like, this is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that stage sucked.
No, it didn't, because not only is the board awesome, but the track is very like it's very clockworky.
Do you know why that stage sucked? Because all the clock stages in Castlevania games suck. All of them.
Yeah.
It's kind of true. They're always filled with like those stupid Medusa heads too.
That and like the worst jumps, like especially the ones where you have to, like especially like you jump on the larger gears, and you have to ride them down so far, and then jump off,
and then jump off.
You're like, yeah, this is just awful.
This stage also had two bosses as well. Puexil, I think it's how it's pronounced. It was like a giant like skull, giant like flaming skull you'd fight, and then Coronat, which is like a stone golem. Every time you beat him, he got like a little bit like smaller and smaller.
And then when you kill him, he gets really huge.
Yeah,
And then
he twirls off into the
background.
background. Yeah, like
but it's cool
Bowser or
because every
something.
time you hit him, you saw like all these parts flying off him. So like it became very distracting as you were trying to fight him, and it was fun. It was very very fun stage, very hard, and very cool final boss fight. I thought.
What I thought was cool about. I'm sorry, were you gonna say something? Go ahead.
No, it's fine.
Okay, what I thought was cool about it was that the way that the game showed depth and the scale of things being a flat 2D game.
Right.
Was amazing without being it three-dimensional. So they added these little quirky things to make things happen. That was like, oh, that's kind of cool,
Yeah.
Like even the first stage when you're fighting the guy on the horse, the knight on the horse,
Right.
I just really think they did such a great job with this
They
game.
really did. They really did. I agree. I'm interested to see what your number 3 is, but it's not going to touch a candle to mine.
Boom! I see what you did there.
See what I did there? Let's just move on to my number 2, because this song just licks lick. Just kidding.
Wow!
Oh no, just kidding. Go ahead. What do we got here?
It doesn't matter. We'll go on. We'll go on. Now, this song is Nocturne of the Moonlight.
Ooh.
Yeah, I love the names they come up with these songs. This.
When you hear the word nocturnal, I just think of Dracula. That's just my first thought all the time. Is I think of like Castlevania and Dracula. Anyways, sorry, go ahead.
What I think is awesome is that this track brings out the romanticism of the Castlevania series. Because you can picture this in a ballroom, with a dancing kind of thing, and the lightning going on in the background and stuff like that. And you just something out of the Haunted Mansion or something like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it just there's just such we keep talking about and hitting on it, but it's just such awesome storylines behind everything. And it's true. It's a gothic game at the turn of the century, the 1700s or something, like 17th century, or something like that. It takes place in.
I think Super Castlevania 4 is like 1651 or something like that. I think I was reading that.
I'm so sorry. Steve just made an excellent point. If this game is that long ago, and in Europe?
Yes.
Why do you collect dollars?
You
collect dollars. They're dollars, right? Every
money
bag, money bag is $1. It has the little dollar symbol.
Poor translation.
Oh,
It's poor it's supposed to be the symbol for yen.
Right. These Americans, they're not going to know what this is. Put a dollar sign on it. They know Scrooge McDuck. They get this.
That's an interesting point, though. Yes, I didn't think about that. Yeah, you're right.
One thing they should have brought back that they never brought back in any other Castlevania except for the first one was the hidden money bags. So
when you would kneel at a certain area?
If you kneel or if you jump at a certain spot, there's one in the very, very beginning. Before you even enter the castle, if you walk up to the castle, you know how the game takes you and just makes you?
Right.
But if you can jump right before that, you jump over it, and it makes
make the money thing.
And you go over there and grab it. It was just little things that if you knew where they were, it was cool to do.
Yeah, it's just cool because that adds a little exploration of things you could do even in the original Castlevania. You go to certain points, like the one stage with all the jumping monkeys. When you go up and you go right to the left at the edge and you kneel there for a couple seconds and you get that cool thing. So it's just like, how would you know unless you were just trying out different things? And I love when they do stuff like that.
I mean, in the original Castlevania, it really didn't matter that they did that because of the fact that all it was worth was points.
Right.
And at that point, points were worth men. If you hit a certain criteria, you got a free life. And things like that. But
points are worth man. You get a free man. Hey, you Thomas, come here.
Yes, sir. Oh, you hit.
Go collect my U.S. money bags.
Hey, don't talk to me like that. Oh wait, I see you hit $30,000. All right, I'll come with you then. That's
yes.
right. But in future iterations of Castlevania, you actually had shops and you could actually buy things, so that it really truly was money at that point.
Right.
Love it.
I love how in these games you're trying to stop an evil force and people are still forcing you to buy something. Like this, you're gonna take him down, so please just take it and then just give it back when you're done. But no, I'm gonna make you go broke trying to save us.
Right. And I always hated that. Even if the RPGs.
Yeah.
So here's this epic sword. You need this to kill the guy, but I'm going to sell it to you for $2 million.
You can't afford it? I guess we're all going to die. Sorry.
Right. Let's think this through all the way.
The dude is literally outside waiting for me. Just give me the damn sword. Love it.
Profiteering.
But the one thing that's as good as a storyline is for Castlevania, if you look back and actually read all the way through what they think is the actual, or what Konami has said, this is the actual timeline of things. Things don't jive.
Yeah.
Because we've seen the epilogue of Lords of Shadow.
Yep.
However, this they said in Lament of Innocence that Leon Belmont, who's your main character, is actually the first of the Belmont clan, and he fights Dracula at the end. But we know something.
People need to play and watch it, especially this guy.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, when we're done with this podcast, Brian, you're watching the epilogue.
Okay.
And you're going to cry.
It's only 6 hours long. So
the thing is it won't make sense to me.
No, actually it will.
No,
okay.
actually
it actually will.
Okay.
Very much so.
A guy who's played only 3 Castlevania games, yes,
it's not really Dracula. It's actually Fozzie Bear in a Dracula suit.
Hey guys.
As Matt would say, I would allow that.
That's right. Waka waka waka. I'm the worst human being. I'm going to give that round to you. You know why?
Why?
Because I'm a romantic, and you use the word romantic.
I mean, it's true though. I mean, these games are so much.
Plus,
like
you get to hire a man. So you get to hire Thomas to follow you around.
Well, aside from the original Castlevania, the original Castlevania lines. Once it ported to the PlayStation, it was always about you're trying to save some girl from Dracula.
Nobody wants to do that.
I'm
tired of saving dames. I just want to kill vampires.
We're talking about a divorce. Is it really worth saving
come
her?
She's got all the money bags. I was like, Thomas, you go get her. I'm going to take out Dracula.
That's why you collect money. It's to pay the divorce lawyer.
See that? This all comes around. Good job. You win that one.
All right.
But this next one is going to just throw
a
monkey feces at you.
Oh. Oh.
What a way to start out this game.
I wonder if the guy who wrote this was like playing it and he says, "I need my wife right now because this is so good."
There was actually two people. Who worked on composing this game: Masamari Adachi and Toro Kudo, I think the name is. So it's interesting to have different composers. I like when they have more than one composing because for one person wanted to do the more environmental style music, the other person was focusing more on like the overture and everything. So it's cool, especially with something as Castlevania. It's super important now to have like a very amazing soundtrack, and I like it because it starts you out with like that old style pipe organ. You got the organ in the background. It is so upbeat. You're just like, all right, I'm back in Castlevania, and it's just I figured, and this was almost my number one. You'll when you hear my number one, you'll see why I picked it. But I was just like, starting out the game like this is amazing. Beautiful track.
I'm gathering thoughts. It's just, I understand we're supposed to be at war with each other during this podcast here, but this game is so amazing.
It is.
And it's hard to fight against one of my all-time favorite games.
So since this game didn't come out for Super Mario World, right? Super Mario World came out.
Super Mario World was the original game.
The original game, okay. So I was going to say, because in the first stage, you can go behind the gate, open the gate, and go behind it. I was like, I wonder if Super Mario World got, but I guess they got...
It was in the original lineup. It was like this, it was Super Mario World, F-Zero, Pilot Wings, and I want to say ActRaiser.
Right.
It was like some of the originals.
Yeah, I know this wasn't like at release. What do they call that?
Yeah, just
like a Super Nintendo, like the release titles,
right?
Or whatever.
Right.
And it just came like after that.
Yeah, it was still very early. That's why I don't even know why I said did Super Mario come, because of course a Mario game always comes when a new Nintendo release. It's just like you're gonna play Nintendo, you're gonna play a Mario game like right out the gate.
And there's so many games. I mean, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but almost all the Castlevanias were primarily on Nintendo systems.
Yeah.
Just Bloodlines was released for the Genesis.
Bloodlines is awesome.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Actually, one of the hardest to find games and most expensive Castlevania games, Dracula X for the Super Nintendo. Oh my goodness, you're looking at like $160 for just the cart.
Wow.
It is a hard game to find.
I thought Bloodlines was hard to find. I got mine for $1, and everybody was like worth like $40. I was like, yep, that's going to be a good return on investment there, fellas. Thomas, bring me the money.
Very good, sir. So yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
I mean, look what you're going up against for number 2. I mean, it's just like
I think I could match it or do better.
I don't know.
Here's my number 2.
Spill that Mountain Dew on you.
Now, hopefully we'll talk long enough for it to get to the part in the song, but like, and it does it a couple times where it's like you can. This is Dracula's castle, okay, and there's a part of the song where like you can almost see like in this like you can picture him fighting different things, and all of a sudden like when Dracula gets there,
right,
you can almost see like the moonlight come out and like you hear the thunder and the wind picks up and you're like, oh crap, like you can almost see the wind blowing out the candles and you're like, yeah, this is not going to end well for probably me.
What is the final boss fight like in that game? Like, is it like multi-form like the original Castlevania? Is it like, or is it just like the Super Castlevania 4? You fight.
Wait, real quick. Here's the part. I'm sorry.
Okay, quick pause.
I know you're on the roll, but here's that part.
Yeah, that is, That is badass.
Like,
That is-
you
that
can
is-
picture walking up that tower,
Yeah.
you know, up to, like, your death, and you know you're going to.
See, it's interesting. Like my number 2 was starting a way to get you pumped up for the beginning of the game. Yours is getting pumped up for the end of the game. So
Yes.
it's very cool. And they both do the job very well.
Well, Brian, do you want to answer his question about the multi-boss finale?
Yeah, I do.
Go ahead.
We're talking about the boss of the inverted castle, right?
Yeah, no, regular, normal.
Normal?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I only do inverted.
Yeah. I do only.
All right, well, let's
I
go
know.
with inverted. Go ahead.
I think you do fight Dracula in one form, and then he metamorphosizes
To the giant bat with multiple wings.
into like a throne with like 4 heads or something.
All right.
It's like a flying. He's like still He's sitting on a throne, and there's like 3 other heads. That's what I remember.
One of the heads is Thomas.
And one of the heads is Thomas. Yeah.
You traitor!
Now he bossy pays more.
I didn't see that coming. To go fight Dracula fighting a chair with 3 heads. I definitely didn't see that coming.
I could be wrong.
It's been a long time since I played Symphony of the Night, and for me, and again, it's considered an RPG,
Right.
Because it's so long, you know, and there's things that you can get to appear, and some of it's just grinding. You know, for example, there might be a corridor of zombies, right?
Right.
And there might be a ring that they drop, but there's a 1% chance of them dropping that ring. And if you're playing at 100%, for that 100%, you gotta sit there and grind that out. And sometimes,
And that's
you know,
that's the only area it would drop
that's
was
the
all.
only area.
But do you know that without a strategy guide? There's like a hint that says fight these guys
Yes.
so that they do give hints.
There's a librarian, and you can go to him, and he has a bestiary, and then you can look at the bestiary and see like, okay, this guy I know he drops Zircon, but then he also drops question mark. So I'm gonna go farm that guy until he drops the
Gotcha.
the rest of his.
And
That-
then
that's
guy
cool.
appears,
That's
like
cool.
in one area.
Right.
So,
you always got to go and.
That's cool that
get
he's in the
knowledge of it.
library with all like the books.
And I
That's
believe-
pretty
Makes
cool.
sense, right?
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
believe that Symphony of the Night was the first Castlevania game to have a bestiary to it.
I wouldn't know. That's the first one I
believe,
saw it in. but-
I believe it is.
Yeah, because it wasn't in 1, 2, 3 or
and it
Super
wasn't in
Castlevania.
4.
Yeah.
So it would have to have been. Yeah, because I know it's in Lament of Innocence, and I also know it's in what's the other one that came out for the PS2? Oh my god, I just had it. I forgot it.
I don't know.
But that was pretty cool. That one because you were a vampire. Leave your Alucard, and you actually have these little demons that like think of them almost like Pokemon, but like you can build them up and then you can merge them with other things.
Firebrand?
And then sort of, and I mean seriously, it's almost like that. And then you can get like, if you follow this specific chain, you can get like the top minion,
Right.
And like it protects you from damn near everything,
Right.
And it's like boosts your to godly levels.
Yeah.
So yeah, you definitely want to follow a path.
Nice. Nice.
You know what's interesting to me?
What's that?
For both your number 2s, you picked the first stage of the game, right? Because Dance of the Holy Man, which was your number 2 pick, is the beginning of the game.
Yes. Yes.
This is the first area in Symphony of the Night when you take control of Alucard. This is the hallway with a bunch of zombies leading up to Dracula's castle.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Curse of Darkness was
Curse
the
of
name
Darkness.
of the other PS2 game. By the way.
So this wasn't the end. This was the end of the beginning, like the prologue. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, this is right after the prologue.
Right after the prologue.
Okay,
Yeah. Right
okay.
after as Richter, you defeat Dracula and and
Okay.
then you pick up with Alucard running through
Nice.
the woods. Yeah.
Very cool. Are we ready? Are we ready for number 1? I
All
don't.
right, we're gonna do this number
I don't
one
know.
throwdown.
I mean, number 2. That was close. I mean, I'm kind of leaning my way, of course.
Who's going to judge the winner of this, by the way?
Me. I'm the arbiter. Come on.
Yay!
Do you want to know what the score stands like right now?
Yes, I do.
So Matt, you are at 982 points.
I like it.
Okay.
Go team, Matt.
Wow.
That's pretty good, right?
Yes.
Okay. Steve, you are at 5,283.
Wow.
Yeah. 5283.
Well, the funny that Brian didn't mention that is this score is just like golf. Lowest score wins. I mean, so
Well, hey,
you got some work, bro.
You can make up with your number 1.
Oh, and I will.
Let's hear it.
I could let this song play like over and over and over again. This is a remake of the Bloody Tears from Castlevania 2, and this is in Stage A1, the Clock Tower. And Clock Tower, not Back to the Future Clock Tower. This is like the clock. This is the Clock Tower from hell. You know, it's like you're climbing up this thing, and you feel like you're miniaturized because it doesn't end. Like, how many of these cog wheels do they have in this?
I just saw this tower from outside.
Yeah, it's not that big. But it, you know, again, nostalgia kicks in. When I hear the remake of these, I'm just like, oh my god, this is just absolutely freaking brilliant that they threw this song in here too. So that's ultimately why I picked it. And the stage is very difficult, so I don't think this is my favorite stage. Like, no, I loathe the stage with a passion. But having this song accompany you going through it, it kind of, especially this part, I love how it kind of cheese and rices you there.
You know, I do like this. I like all the tracks for Super Castlevania.
Yeah.
I really do. But my favorite track is one that you actually did not pick.
Oh.
And I'm very actually surprised. It's the second stage when you're in the caverns.
Uh-huh.
And you hear like the water drops in the stage, and it actually echoes, so it makes you feel like you're actually in a cavern. Mm-hmm. That's when you whip the blocks to get to certain areas.
There was also the waterfall stage that I didn't pick either. It just I went for more of the more upbeat, get you fired up for a Castlevania. 'Cause they have some really slow tracks that are amazing. But when I think Castlevania, I'm just like, oh my god, I want to get pumped up.
And again, just like the last podcast that you and I had, you know, was the music that you pick are very like, I need to get like pumped up, go.
I'm a very violent person.
I'm the very mellowed, like, the more deep it gets, the more I'm pulled in, and I was like,
I'm very violent. What do you want from me?
Do you know why they redid this one? Like, why they used it again?
I don't know. I don't know the reasoning behind it.
Because it's the best song ever.
Well, it is really good. But is it like similar to where you find it in 2? Is it another clock tower?
No,
there's not a
in
clock
2.
tower.
This music just plays when it turns night, and you're like, it's like. And it's a bad time to have a curse.
Oh,
and then you go outside and it starts playing. You just run out there, and it's like, all right, it's dark. There's a bunch of monsters out here. Let's get to it.
Which is a fantastic concept, by the way. Have you played Castlevania 2?
Nah.
Okay, it is. Everybody hated it because it was new. It was a new twist on Castlevania. I loved it.
Yep.
And they gave you a day and night system.
Okay.
And say if like you killed a skeleton in one hit during the day, at night everything's hit points are doubled.
Oh, okay.
So, so now it takes 2, you know. And when you fight the werewolves at night, man, it's like you're just whipping on those things forever. Like, come on, man.
And when you're in town at night, there's enemies in the town.
Instead of people walking around, it's zombies walking around.
Oh, okay.
So you're just running like, it's day. You're running like, I gotta get to this thing. I gotta buy this thing. And then all of a sudden, text comes up, and then it just goes dark. You're just like, no! You gotta fight off all these guys to wait for daylight. So then the grind begins. You just start grinding up.
And it's cool because the screen fades and comes back, and so like doors that were normally open now have doors in them. That you can't just like walk into a church or walk into something. It's barred.
It's like, there's evil out here. Let me in the church. Get lost.
Nope. We're Gabriel in this thing.
We're not home.
Why is Thomas the preacher here? What's going on?
A lot of Thomases in this world.
So that I do like Bloody Tears. That is going to be a hard one to beat.
That's my number 1.
But I think I can beat it.
You think so?
I think so.
Well, from Brian's scoring system, you're going to blow me out of the water because I'm getting absolutely creamed right now.
Well, let's hear my number 1, and we'll go from there.
Love it.
How about I drop a little Requiem of the Gods?
It sounds like the very end, like they have the credits scrolling up. That's what I envision.
It sounds like something out of Glee.
Something out of Glee.
Like, all right.
You instantly lose by comparing Castlevania music to Glee.
This is the gothic episode.
Yeah.
This sums up Castlevania for me. This is like, as soon as I hear this, I mean, this brings you to everything that Castlevania is. The darkness, the mystique, the romanticism, the lore of Castlevania. This game is it. Or, sorry, this song is it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got the perfect bells and everything.
It does have a little bit of. It does incorporate a little bit of everything.
I mean, because you see like the singing's like the spirits, and then you have the.
I think that's a good timing right there. I like that.
And then
You got the pipe organs coming in. So what part is this?
Brian, help me.
Yeah, no, I can help you.
Help me.
This is like the chapel area. It's right after the laboratory.
Inverted or non-inverted?
This is pre-inversion.
Pre-inversion. Love it.
All right, so what we have to do is we're all going to have to get together and just play Symphony of the Night together so that we can remember where the song, or I can remember where the songs are. Brian will just love it, and then Matt will be introduced to it. So here we go.
There we go.
Curiosity.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Videotape it, put it on YouTube. I'll leave my shirt on for this one. Be good.
That would be good.
It would be good.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Do you remember the boss of this area?
I'm going to guess a candle.
My brain just hemorrhaged.
It is a camel. It's a camel. Yeah.
Nice.
I do not remember. And that's the thing. Being an RPG, there are bosses everywhere. There's more bosses.
I
in
know
this
there's a
game
lot of bosses
than
in
there
that game.
are in any other Castlevania, because it's constantly it's your bar. If you're having trouble with this boss, you need to go back and level up because you will not survive further on.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so they have to keep making sure you can step up to that.
So if you were to grind like up to max level in like the beginning area and then went through the game, it doesn't scale. It's just like this area is like 9 through 12 and then like 13 through 15, or does it?
No, it definitely, they do get tougher. I was gonna say, like, there's some boss, or not even bosses. There's regular enemies in the inverted castle that are tougher than the first 10 bosses.
Oh wow, okay.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and you
Nice.
get different weapons, and you know if you don't progress to get those weapons, you know
You're just lost.
Yeah, you're sitting like with your normal stuff, and then you know there's a lot of things you can't get to because you don't have certain things. 99, is that the max level Alucard gets in this game?
I don't even think I ever got that high. Like, you can finish the game way before you get there, but I don't know. Yeah, I can't remember.
Both inverted and non-inverted.
Yeah.
I'm sure if
So-
you were 99, you probably one hit the boss. Just done.
Probably because you have so much stuff at your disposal. Probably. I don't think it's one hit, but it'll be close.
Yeah.
I would just take the Sailor Moon Rod, and then I would farm the Golden Knights that are in the middle of the castle
Oh, nice.
until I got like to level 60, and then I would go play the game.
Nice.
By the way, the boss for this zone of the game is a giant parrot.
Giant parrot.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's a giant parrot.
Oh.
I think they call it a hippogriff, but it looks like a parrot.
You notice that he almost looked ashamed to say that. Yeah, it's a parrot.
Well, get
I'm
creative.
sorry,
Come on.
sir. Did you say parrot?
You're
Yes.
dealing with all of horror mythos, and the best you can do is a parrot.
That'd be funny if later on you fought a boss
it's
that was like
an
the
undead
owner of
parrot.
that parrot. Yeah, an undead
This
parrot.
parrot has ceased to be.
Good pick. Good pick.
Yeah. Oh, love this song. I could go to sleep listening to that song.
Maybe you should.
I think I will.
Every night for the rest of your life.
Done.
See what it does to you.
When I'm dead, just put it in my coffin. Just put it. Just let it.
One of
Play on.
those never ending batteries. Just put
Does
it in
anybody
there.
hear music?
Be like, this is really creepy.
There's no electronics in the house. There's no instruments in the house.
And then every once in a while, have like a little bell that just chimes. You know, like that they used to have like in cemeteries.
yeah.
And they used to think they buried people alive if they had a bell,
It's the
with a
bell,
pulley.
yeah.
So the dead person would ring it, and then they would let people come dig them up because they haven't died.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's why there's bells.
Wow.
That's why I put bells in my house.
That's creepy.
So yeah, so there you go. Our
I
Castlevania
can't believe it's done.
bro down.
Our bro down. That was some serious competition.
Let's have the final scores.
Yeah,
Oh,
what-
yeah, guys, let me just pull it up here.
Matt, 3
Oh,
points.
That's not it either.
Matt, you did better if you didn't play.
I don't see the score chart anymore.
Uh-oh.
What?
I don't know what happened.
What? The one time I could actually win one of our competitions.
I guess we'll just have to let our listeners decide the winner.
I like it.
We could do that.
But if they don't weigh in,
Who won?
me. No, but definitely. I mean, write us in. Let us know who had the better picks, because it's hard with Castlevania. I mean, I think just you picking Symphony of the Night, I think, is just going to give you an edge in the competition. But for all my old school bros, Thomas included, leave me.
What's up, Thomas?
Yeah. What's up,
The
Thomas?
guy I bought for 30,000.
Yeah, exactly. Leave us some love on our Facebook page, Twitter, Cash Revive, email cashrevive@gmail.com, YouTube. We got a YouTube channel now that we're putting content on as well. So follow us, give us some love.
Follow us so that you can watch us
Yeah.
do some Symphony of the Night playing.
Yep. We're gonna working on setting up some actual new shows for our YouTube channel where you can actually see what we look like. Yay and nay.
You poor people. You poor people.
But thank you guys very much for listening, and tune in next week for some awesome shenanigans continued by the trio of godlike men that are behind the mics right now. Brian, thank you for your...
me. You're talking. You're including me.
Yes, I am.
Yay! Sure.
Thank you for your mixing and your patience with our tangents and immature babbling that happens.
If he's not used to it
on a
by
weekly
now,
basis.
we need to find a new production person.
You need to get a new Thomas.
Need a new Thomas. That's Brian's new name now is Thomas.
Thomas.
It's going to name it everybody's Thomas. That's great. Well, Steve, thank you. This episode was a lot of fun. So to everybody out there, we will see you next week.
See ya.
Peace.